Hi guys, and welcome back to Wrestling Review. I'm Daniel. This is my NXT. This is my NXT thoughts for last night's episode. Well, before we get into the episode, I would just like to thank Nikki East FKE Ross for the what her interaction with last night. I've actually listened to a portion of the interview she did with Chris Van Vliet, basically talking about various stages of her WWE career, a tag in as in the case or to actually um say that I first saw so an SW show Bella was just center around 2008, 2009, that um, that obviously struck a chord with Nikki, and she well, I back to me with a lot of with a lovely message. I'll post it up on the I'll post it up on the YouTube community tab later on. It's in the public eye, so I'm not breaking any privacy laws anyway. But we'll get into the NXT review now. So we start off, guys, with Aziri in backstage, and she's wondering where Sean Spears as he's not so old, or and as he Nico and said we he told you he wouldn't show up. As though he's it looks as though you're on your own in so or in so stre out. So the remaining members of the Cowan make their entrance out to the ring, and it was kind of strange to hear both. It's kind of strange to hear as they start off the montage and Vance actually finishing it. It was mainly the constructive Sean Spears, but now Spears is dispatched from the group. Um, it's left to the other two to do the sort of voiceover montage before the track begins, but it's nothing to do with us about Azeri, and says she's going to bring the noise with her without speakers. In her montage, she does a different montage every week before her track hits, so that's fine. Then we get to the match itself, and I know Azeri is on the back foot for much of the start of the match. match. Um, there's double team shenanigans with Izzy and the and even to the point where the and um sets up a bill with Thunder Bomb for the um EK Pro Os um EK Pro Oscar or runs down to their and to make sure as he's got a partner and yeah, so Thunderstruck at Kazi and Insult by Pro or Sport onto Vance gets the win and as he looks very pissed off at the fact and set the fall. She's kind of been the great manipulator of the killing, and that's her character. She's kind of based on manipulation. There is a spot that I liked with the two machine gun um style chops that both off pro or sport and um and originally in at the exact same time. That was a cool spot. And yeah, good opener to Ivan for things up. It served its purpose, set the hook. Uh, it, it kind of teased into wrestling. That thunder or struck kick that as a rain hits is a thing of beauty. Of course, um, Lizzie Rain's a gimmick because I think Thornedly, I think her gimmick is obviously a heavy metal rock star. I don't know if I could well into that right, Sean. Sean will give me a row in the comment section, no doubt. Um, but any case, then we get when we come back from the ad, but like Emily Egg and um chats to both Owen Azarian and EK Pro or Sperm backstage. She wants to get a um she wants to get a reaction from the match, but it's been but her Oscar explained that he's the um up to the alternative, but before Rain can say Harpies Cowley, Armstrong, who was one of the Evolve and all ups a few months ago, give Abs the mic saying, That's not all about it's not all about Kendall coming out here and in that in the second. This is about Cowley Geelong getting her title match, and she says she wants for what she's owed. Outcomes. Outcomes can do are the outcomes can do great for and kill here Gary, he says if you want a shot, maybe it's time you maybe it's time you stepped up. As always, guys, paraphrasing here. Outcomes, killer. Uh, nah, I've actually butchered to the. Sorry, it's actually killer. I need your Orton that comes out first, and she's like, um, she's like, lamb for Austin Line. You don't have to fall to the back of the line, but I'm next. I've pinned Kendall Gravy recently, and I want what so. Um, Out comes Kendall Gravy and Kill. Here if a contract and um, she said she said to Alani, you get your shot, you'll get your shot heat, and here's a contract, a sign that you get your shot killer. And he said after she signed that, yeah, we're not gonna do it tonight here in Orlando. Oh, why would we? Why would we? Is my a time and it is her. And so she's pulled in the kind of bitchy heel that I love of. So basically, after she signs it and says that one, and she says to Kendall, I'll see you at Heatley. If Callie Strong's not happy with the g- agreement, she said she will wants her shot. Kendall actually says to Armstrong that shot after she'll get a shot after Jordan gets hers. Of course, Armstrong takes exception to that. She says she wants her shot now. Order and Hill. He had actually said to, did you hear what she is said? You get your shot after Ace's killer. And, and, and then Armstrong starts attacking both of them. Kelani Jordan joins in, and then those two actually have a stare down after they eat up the baby faces. Interesting segment. I enjoyed it. I know, I know the news outlets like Bill each other report didn't really enjoy this one. I I did obviously. I think this actually made for an interesting segment. Armstrong can cut a good sort of heel badass promo. She's really she's actually really good. She was basically the standout, no pun no pun unintended, because that's obviously Kalani Orton's nickname. But you know what I mean, Brent? Watched the Vol and it first started. Armstrong was the standout. So yeah, um, a, a couple of backstage segments here. I was born into Avion Heights celebrate their um tag title victory. They say they want to be a fighting tag team, a fighting champion tag team. Um, Various tag teams say they were on a show. It's all the any good off here. Of course, I was born as a duo champion. We wouldn't hear the last of on heights on this um show as obviously um as obviously they are challenged by the vanity project for heat or heat wave. Jackson Drake also said he wants an North American title shot, but on so if Jackson Drake becomes the NXT Men's North American champion, Miles Bourne has to wrestle two matches on Heat Wave, so that's fine. Again, good segment here. We may also get a segment where Robert Stone has said he wants NXT to be involved in the big bumper Triple versus WWE big weekend they've got coming up. So he proposes a four-way match in the winner faces and the winner faces the referee Phoenix for the Cruiserweight Championship in the bumper weekend as I'm calling it. So basically the four participants already selects a partner who's a part of three, but either way, just so you know the difference. And Stone would pick um and Stone would pick. In fact, no, Rafi Enix would end up defending the cruiserweight belt in the fatal four-way. Sorry. So the other two compare to us to one would pick off screen. He'd pick um he'd pick Romeo Marino and Tristan Angels. The two would get into it backstage later on, but for the next match on the of the night, Zeke it's Zeke on Sugars up against Dion Lennox, um, accompanied by Orias Griffin and Kittle or James. Now, basically, guys, as I've said for I like the way the kind of four um the arc state symbol on the signature on has kind of been X'd out. Um, so to speak, that's to signify that Sugar's was excommunicated from the group. Sugar's song is a bit shit. I don't really get the whole sort of voiceover by this very high pitched woman going, "Ooh, it's sick, come on, it's the way he says it, it's the way she says it as a voiceover, mama, and as I want to see sick on the theme song itself as generic as hell. It's not as imposing as the dark state because that you kind of know somebody's going to get up top with in that is. But yeah, Seiko on as the most charisma was the most charismatic um, of this unit, but now he's been dispatched. Dark state of kind of being a bit more sort of well, and in the charisma department. Anyway, Sugar us comes out with his baseball bat. He's told to put it down in the corner match begin and um Sugar also is actually pretty good in the ring. He's the only he was the only but a dark state to come from a pro wrestling background. The rest came from like all each football and amateur wrestling backgrounds where he received on Sugars was a pickup from the Indies. Um, and it shows here Sugars is actually a very good professional wrestler. Or he's got most of the charisma you see that you hope to see, sorry, in a professional wrestler. Enox is athletic, Luiga, but in the charisma department, you'd give it to Shug. Oh, Sugar's gets a lot of the offense on, but interference from Griffin and James leads to all leads to them tripping Sugars. It will easily end up an open goal to hit the power slam, which he does, um and he and he beats him with the pit and all of the power slam. The three remaining members of Darts did they hit a triple power shield style, and yeah, that kind of ends that segment. You see, the Dark State graphic that you always see that closes out Dark State's segments with if Sugar has been X out. So yeah, that was a yeah, so that was actually not a bad so yeah, that was is actually an okay match, a bit too much interference. The shield, the shield has obviously been adapted a bit for Dark State. Griffin and James were kind of E up Dion Lennox. It's kind of more like a toss to um it's kind of more like a toss to Lennox so that Lennox can hit the power bomb. It's the different take on the triple power bomb. I hope you know what I mean with that on and so I see it's the best it's the best that I can explain the so yeah um so yeah under the bar I shortly have um under the bar shortly after the match racing all of ops into medic all and he basically says you're gonna let the arc state get away with that you're so off just to like the rest of the film ops so Sugar's grabs his baseball bat after Gerson Waller leaves the kind of staggers out the room and I used hitting um cabinets in the room with uh, um his his bulb uh, um so yeah, interesting segment. Sugar us they should probably push up the card a bit now. The rest of Dark State though, even although they are athletically gifted, it's time just to cut them off. As they don't really have all that much in the charisma department. Trigger us as the one that does, and that's probably the reason why they dispatched Sugar us to maybe level him up and put a bit more stock into him if they really want to put more stock in him, then change his theme music because that is the only part of his presentation that's a bit sort of songy, to be honest. The theme song is just shite, to be honest. But him as a wrestler, I like him, but can we just kind of all inaudible to this whole Dark State Sugar feud because the Dark State don't have nearly as much charisma as Psycho on Sugar. Unfortunately. optional, unfortunately, eh, but then we get another match, and it's then we get another match. It's for the World Women's North American. It's for the Women's North American. Um, it's for the Women's North American Championship for the NXT year taking on Zaria. This came about. This came about after a stone made to the agreement that Zaria would receive a split title shot if other NXT year received the Women's North American title. This match would this match would be and this match would be interrupted momentarily by Sugar Arsenal and also continue the or all its mass years Kettle or the aims actually uh, Kettle or the aims actually comes out to assist to Enix after Enix has been like was lined over the top rope. You have you have him on the instant he'll drop kick the chair right into Kettle or the aims the momentary distraction leaves him Zarya to capitalize and hit the F5 to retain the North American title. I did actually kinda sort of worried that sort of worried that Zaria would have to sacrifice the F5 eventually as Baroque his number's still on the roster, but maybe she'll get the chance to keep the F5 since the entitled bitch Baroque isn't or has seemingly that I um but yeah that's another topic for another video. Um so yeah, before the um yeah, so before that unscheduled sort of interruption between Sugars and Mo and the match was actually pretty solid. I like Rensing here. She kinda actually has a bit of angles kinda the dark sort of or personality. She's a good in-ring technician, same as Angle. Also, there's a lot of there's a lot of parallels. There's a lot of parallels here between Angle and Sync. Here, I know that's kind of a weird comparison, but terms of the type of characters, both err on their respect and their respective errors. I hope you see the comparison. Um, but yeah, uh, but yeah, Shiloh O'Hell has an update on his injury. Um, he, um, he says he's healing. Well, I killed unexpected. He's looking into the accusation and he's been doing the research and that. He's gonna do some experiments on animals. So it's very weird that Narak and Shao will eventually have a feud and a match. I don't really know how to feel about this because nothing against it's nothing against Shiloh O'Hill. He does have that sort of Buddy Wyatt sort of presentation about him, like in small doses, and he does have good ability. It's just not who is this sort of big you from New Japan is the only wrestler to hold three major New Japan belts at the same time. On the uh, was it IW is it IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, which is the top rise in Japan. He's obviously lost the feud to Tony D'Angelo recently. He's not been he's not been on the last of all of shows and um yeah, this is a non-title. This is a non-title. Feud that's coming up for him, so that's why I am not keen on this. Sort of that has gone down. Um, he is the husband. He is the husband of Iosuke. So maybe the sort of politics will protect him from being bumped down too far down the car. But that remains to be seen. But yeah, it just seems like a random sort of feud. Um, to be honest, but any is any is enjoyed the fact that I enjoyed the fact that Zaharia and Singh Hill's match was a bit chaotic. And a sense that Sequel on actually got a bit of retribution. I suppose that actually, I suppose that actually, um, in storyline gives Robert Stone no other choice but to resolve that. Now, maybe if they bring back a stipulation such as the fight, uh, because on actually, he said to but Joseph via headset apparently he's gonna have to for egg or something out. Maybe a affiliation like the fight pack because we haven't seen a fight pack match since Seth Rollins and Matt Riddle on the main roster at Extreme Rules 2020. So maybe a fight pack match would be the way to would be the way to get all here. Um, so yeah, just an idea. So then we get Moon Ace and up against Hendrix. Now Ace and but as always comes out to Ace and Irons the WWE 12 theme song. Um, if you if you it's WWE 12 before you know the kind of generic track I'm talking about. Um, but yeah, but yeah, that's a theme music. Hendrix is the real life husband of Maxine Dupree. Um, he's an evolved, um, he's an evolved, oh, it is a Rick, is kind of, one of the more international standouts from the UK. He's seen he's competed in Japan as well. Um, so yeah, um, not a bad match there. Or it's would give him um, an offensive I think he'll be this generation's sort of some Jota. As this guy can actually move for a big I but yeah, all that offense to art comes to no avail as exposed humble comes into oh, at the end of the match or Ook's head smashes into it from um Hendrix um and hits his and he hits his move to get the win over Mason or who I'd like to have I'd have liked to have seen Ulrich get get the victory here. I'm kind of more interested in him again though with Hendrix. It does seem like a tad bit of nepotism because of who he's married to. Again, it's not that Hendrix is a bad wrestler, or it's just that or Oaks probably probably a level of him, to be honest. But yeah, there's that. Um, but 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 Booker T said in commentary that this was Hendrick's biggest case. I would actually disagree. The I would actually disagree with that because he's just came off the back of an orphan Anakin title match with Miles on. Um, so yeah, um, so yeah, so uh, yeah, so yeah, and I've actually made them a st- here in a previous point. So it's if Jackson, Drake, and each side will have on with the event of the NXT Ultimate Anakin Championship um against Drake and him and on and Heights with defend the tag titles against eight for the eight of the Vanity Project, although all three but also just called the Vanity Project. There's eight bright names being dropped now for some reason. Um, but yeah. Um, so then we get so then we get so then we get X's and accompanied by the rest to the accompanied by the rest to the off right up against the Hussein Rice. So Hussein Rice was asked by Bur Uncle Ina if he needed if he needed his support at ringside. The Hussein Rice says he wanted to do it on his own, so there's tension here. Obviously because we asked he asked Ridiculous Osperos them out the extracted OTM during the tag match with obviously the Vanity Project. So yeah, so yeah, and obviously, but wrong could been a part of Osperos. Them I would have been acting for action, so I think eventually you'll get the confirmation that Hussein Price um has been betrayed by Uncle in and for a union with FMO Eros How so yeah maybe we'll see we're seeing Ace take the fight to Eros Demal and Liverpool. Yeah. Um, but yeah. Um, but yeah. Ha, but yeah. But yeah. Rice was able to get them in over over Exis King that qualifies him for a speed title shot, and I'm sorry the tag match last week wasn't against Vanity Project, it was against Uriah on us and Channing so Lorenzo the off right, so yeah, so yeah, apologies for the mix up, um, but yeah, uh, um, but yeah, so Rice gets so and qualifies for the speed title shot. It's kind of baffling because what comes next with the women's speed title was on obviously the end was to Robert Stone should have killed S another shot at Zaria's women's no off American title. He said Stone says to Reno, I know you've got shafted shafted a night, but I just don't know about having you another opportunity or end with actually say that she's willing to sweeten the pot, so she proposes a unification with the women's street title that she holds and Zaria's women's North American title as the speed um, championships or a C title and the North American championships just under the NXT Women's Championship. I think it's fair to say that the speed champion for the women will be done away with after this match to whoever wins the match. I'm predicting Zaria will because obviously so uh, Zaria's um chief rival for a bit or arch enemy for a bit of phrase, and so held both the beat title and North American championships. So in storyline, I think the way to go is to have Zarya sort of each oh that achievement um even just momentarily because it is a unification match the appreciation either way it's bye bye to the women's speed championship. I kinda wish they do same award if the moon ends for consistency. Maybe they were a after or after the betrayals or the line where Ina actually betrays all the same race. Um, but yeah, it's just for consistency. I hate the speed title anyway because it makes the opponent look good. Because the way you put like a 3 minute time limit on tournament matches and 5 minutes on 5 minutes on 5 and it's on title matches. It makes the opponent look good. And even Booker T said that and got commentary in the context of the story. He said or the ends or used to or used to fighting and speed it um cheese. He said the way he was area had there in the top up so he put hold that'll take he gets to on the end and she wrestles a regular matches. That is inter an interesting line on commentary made up for Alice Howe or earlier. Um, so yeah, so so yeah, so the rank, rank UCC will team up against our Annie Jordan and Carl Yamster along next week. No, no one talks up Romeo and as of this was still unannounced off arena that um Areno is getting a regulate championship opportunity. Tristan Angels would kind of rap on Marino and um say that he's gonna win and the fatal four-way opportunity for the right to face Rafe Phoenix. And then you get a small moment between yeah, Hale and Jada Park or Jada Parker tells yeah to be careful of Natalia. Uh, um, yeah, Hale says thank you to Jada Parker for and uh, can she count on um, Jada support next week, and Jada says she's got her back against Nat in her sort of manufacturing. Um, so yeah, that was yeah, so that was pretty uh, then we get to the main event, then we get to the main event. Rosemont Anna FKA Ike Santana, the former TNA World Heavyweight Champion, to Isami and up against former WWE Tag Team Champion and SmackDown Tag Team Champion Gary Eason Wall. Or this match, mm, this match was actually not bad for what or it was. It does end in a disqualification as Villa at um and a no contest rather as Zilla if a two would take out both Montana and Racing Waller. Or I suppose that this is kind of a smart decision, as obviously you don't want to beat and and Tana right now because he's just be and you're kinda sort of rebooting a racing all or so yeah to have um to have Fatu debut on this show by taking both of them out. Einer protects the and I say and but the oh Fatu says to Tony D'Angelo who's in common Chile after delivering the frog splash to all. He says he wants a NXT Championship victory also Ozzy's Spice and this is just changed everything's a fact too isn't it? I mean NXT and he got a pretty big crowd reaction um yeah so a babyface reaction which would be weird as I think he's more presented as as a heel, but obviously obviously the crowd to be and excited to see him at the performance centre make his debut. So we'll have to see, but he's right down the challenge to Tony D'Angelo, so we'll see. So I'm going to give the a 7 out of 10. A slightly weaker show than last week. But sometimes that happens, but not too bad. I just wish they'd maybe stop the dark state sugar us feud because it's obvious dark state don't have the same level of charisma. They should do away with versions of the speed title. Yes, I know about the unification match with the women's speed title and the women's North American title. Oh, what they should maybe do the same with the ends of it. and some good character development in the mid card of NXT. Ethan Rick should not be losing to um Hendricks. Unfortunately, Narak, who is also missing an axe in yeah, but apart from that, it's a pretty um, entertaining show. I like the announcement of the Fatal 4-Way, the world and the challenges Phoenix. And with that, guys, I'm gonna draw, I'm gonna draw this video to was yeah, it may know worth on any of the developments of NXT at the moment, or like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you very soon for another video. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the comment section. Feel free to let me know down in the comments any constructive feedback or any ideas or where you think this stuff is gonna end up that I've wrote up. And with that, guys, like, share, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and I'll see you very soon for another video. Oh, thanks for all the support, and I'll see you soon.